Hey guys, and in the next couple of episodes I will talk you through the labour market. I will talk with you about the concept of the labour market, how to draw it graphically, and the effects and changes that may occur in the labour market. In this episode I will talk about the concept of the labour market. By definition, the labour market is a market for which labour resources are sold in exchange for work. It is just like any other market. However, in the labour market, the firms are not the ones who are supplying. This idea is crucial for the understanding of the labour market. The consumers are the ones who supply the labour in the economy, and the firms are the ones who are effectively demanding the labour. The firms are the ones demanding the labour because they are the ones that want the labour resources so that they can produce the goods and services for the firms. We know that the consumers are the ones who supply the labour in the labour market because they are the ones who are getting employed in exchange for wages, and so consumers control the amount of labour supplied in an economy, because if less people want to work, then there will be a smaller amount of supply. The demand in the labour market is a derived demand. This basically means that the firms do not purchase labour resources for the sake of having them. They purchase them so that something else can be produced, hence the word derived. It is important to understand that the demand is a derived demand because it means that there are different things that will affect the demand for labour compared to the demand for goods and services. This concept of consumers supplying and firms demanding can be shown in the circular flow diagram. The consumer supply is shown as the real flow between households and firms, and the level of wages can be shown as the money flow between firms and households. A change in the level of derived demand for labour resources is based on how much a producer is needing to produce at a given wage rate. If a producer needs to produce more, they will demand a higher level of labour resources. Also, if the wage rate falls, then the labour resources will become relatively more profitable for firms to hire, and so firms will have a higher quantity demanded, vice versa, and ceteris paribus. A change in the amount of labour supplied in an economy can be altered from many things. It is mostly changed from the willingness of the consumer to work. This can be changed by a change in real wage rates, so if the wage rate decreases, then the consumers will be more willing to work because they can receive a higher income per hour worked. This is called an increase in the quantity of labor supplied. Another way to change the level of supply of labor resources is to take away the incentives to not work, for example, taking away the benefit. This will be a disincentive to be unemployed, and so there shall be a higher level of labor supplied in an economy. There are three categories in which a consumer can be categorized in. These categories are employed, involuntary unemployment, and voluntary unemployment. Being employed means that you are currently in some form of work where you are paid. For example, a car cleaner gets paid by people to clean cars, and so they are employed. Being part of the involuntary unemployment means that you are currently looking for work but are unable to get work. For example, there are no jobs available but you want to be employed. Being part of the voluntary unemployment means that you are not currently looking for work and are not employed. For example, you are wealthy enough to be able to live without work, and so you don't work, and so you'll be classed as voluntarily unemployed. That's pretty much all you guys need to know about the concept of the labor market, and in the next episode I will be showing you how to draw the labor market graphically. Alright, I'll see you guys next time.